The quintessential user guide. The Quinn Chronicles, Volume 1. There are many. Starting in Chapter 1, the buddy system. As probably about half of you know, Quinn needs a buddy, no matter what. It started very early. When we were growing up, we were in the McDonald's play area. And I was maybe one, just barely walking. And Quinn was about 3. And he needed a buddy. He needed someone to be in the top of that play area with him. So I was that buddy. He painstakingly pushed my chubby little body up every step of that play area to get to the top, drenched in sweat. And that's when we started to question, does he really think things through, or I don't know. So that leads us to Chapter 2, his unique logic. Haley, you have a little idea about how he's pretty unique. Even when we were living together, I remember I was about 18 and I was trying to keep the house, like get the cleaning schedule going. And I remember the house was so dirty, I cleaned the whole thing, top to bottom. And I had just sat down that night to admire my work. And Quinn walks in the door, 2 steps in, rips his shirt off, throws it. Be ready for that. He looks around and he was like, he's admiring, he was like, wow, this house is pretty much self-cleaning. You think the guy that in his free time thinks about how quantum physics relates to the book of Deuteronomy will be able to deduce that the house is not self-cleaning. And that leads us to Chapter 4, actually 3. It's Quinn's world. We're just living in it. Even when if people knew me, I was going into my freshman year of high school, people knew me, they knew my family, but they would still come up to me and they would say, "Are you Quinn's sister?" I prefer Kay.
Okay, stop. If anyone has the right to talk about living in Quinn Chat, that's fine. He's a few years younger than Quinn, went to the same high school. Every single thing I did, Quinn had not only done it first, but for some reason people could not get out of their minds that Quinn had done it bad. You see, musicals were a big deal in our life. My senior year, I got the role of a lifetime. It was Lord Farquaad. Which, he's a really short guy, so that took a lot of acting. It didn't matter. All anyone could think about was that years earlier, Quinn shone in The Wizard of Oz.
Okay, who is he again?
The literal wizard.
Okay, but that role actually didn't have a lot of stage time.
Oh yeah, you're right. You know why? Because he was doing double duty, playing in both the orchestra and being on stage. How can you compete with that? Musicals, I got the role of Lord Sebastian, the iconic Cinderella character. It didn't matter though. All anyone could think about was Quinn being the cat in the hat. And Susan told the music. It related to so many other areas as well. I tried playing in the worship band. It didn't matter. Quinn was teaching our worship pastor how to play guitar. He was living out my childhood fantasy of being Zac Efron. My sweet 80-year-old son grandparents who lived 5 hours away without fail. Every single time I saw him, you know what they'd ask me? How's Quinn? There was one area in which I had to be spotlight. Show his talents. Well,
Let's go!
the spotlight's on me. From the streets of Kentucky, whose sister's pretty hot, if you ask me. A girl who is way, way out of his league. I don't know. Let's ask his family.
No, I'm not doing it. Can't do it. Sorry. We're completely cutting it out. I have been dragged into too many musicals. So stop it. Sorry if you were enjoying it. But I'm glad you're here. Don't sit down. Because the next chapter is a doozy. Chapter 4. Dating history. I know. We have to talk about this when you're a couple, right?
I wouldn't know. We've been dating since I was 14 years old.
Let's have the conversation, right? So, I put together a rich tapestry of Quinn's dating history.
This is an 8-point font. That is so many.
Yep, it is. And it's full of a lot of crazies, let me tell you.
Forgot about that.
Okay, yeah. So, they broke up because on their first date, she didn't appreciate the film score in Interstellar.
And we went on a double date with her.
Yeah. She didn't agree with his theory of Augustine's shadow relativity 94. So she got moved.
I don't even recognize that name as a problem.
Oh, no, you remember her. And that one was kind of my fault. They broke up because when I was at home alone, we were living together, and he was out, and there was a spider, and it was attacking me in our home. And I called him and I said, "You gotta come home. There's a spider. You gotta come kill it." Unbeknownst to me, he was on a date, and she overheard the conversation. And he was about to leave to go kill the spider for me, and she said, "It's either me or the spider." And Quinn chose the spider. Pretty good learning process if you ask me. But honestly, the only reason I put it in this quintessential user guide was to remind Kaylee that after every one of those girls, Quinn would walk home, he would come home, and he would look at me and say, "That's not her. It's not the one." And he was waiting for you, and he knew that God had you waiting for him. And we're so grateful, because these were crazy. And that leads us to chapter 5, Quirks and Perks.
He does have some good qualities.
Some of them, yes. And we'll discuss them. I mean, the buddy system, it really is annoying, and it was really required of me. It was not a voluntary thing. But honestly, it's made us best friends, and we'll always be buddies, right?
Quinn joked about being your Lester, a diet Quinn. But in all reality, there's literally no one I would have rather called behind. I remember being a very lanky 13-year-old who was years and years younger than me. You took me under the wing. I know you think that's just to get to your sister, but it wasn't. You really helped me in my formative years, and you gave me love for not only Christ, but the church, and helped me use my talents for it. And I'm so grateful for that. I replay those conversations still in my mind, and I think, man, this is the guy I want to be so much like. This is the man I want to be. And I always call that guy not only a friend, but a brother. I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, and he's got some unique logic, right? And we discussed that in chapter 3. But it really is a gift, actually. It's God's gift to him. And when I was really wrestling through my faith, I opened up to Quinn one night and I said, I'm struggling. And that night, till 4 a.m., he took me through Genesis all the way through Revelation in a high-level view, a picture of what Christ has done for us. And it really, truly changed my life. And he's always poured into me like that. And he has this ability to meet people where they're at. And what's crazy is that Kaylee also has that gift. Kaylee has made an intense impression on my life. And you guys as a couple have already built the kingdom so much. And you are just going to continue to build the kingdom. So,
You would raise a glass
or
in a wall.
or